Is America's war on Chinese tech about national security, or is it a desperate attempt to stop China's rise to technological dominance? This seemingly ordinary smartphone is far more than meets the eye, and it shouldn't exist. At its core lies a microprocessor designed and manufactured in China, which when released during Gina Raimondo's trip to Beijing, symbolized a major breakthrough in Beijing's quest to establish an independent chip industry.
That chip is not nearly as good. It's years behind what we have in the United States. We have the most sophisticated semiconductors in the world. China doesn't. We've out-innovated China.
Well, you mean Taiwan.
Fair.
You see, as has happened on numerous occasions, the US has attempted to stifle China as soon as its technological prowess in a sector begins to rival American dominance. TikTok became the #1 social app around the world, and the US moved to ban it. China wished to cooperate in space, and the US prohibited it. Temu and Shein have begun to rival Amazon and other US retailers. Now there are talks of the US banning them. So it's a story that seems to have repeated itself over the years. And this time, the US has sanctioned sales of microchips to China, leaving Chinese companies with no choice but to develop their own. Which is why, in mid-2023, when this smartphone was released, it sent shivers through Washington and ripples around the world. But this is more than just a smartphone, and now it has intensified the chip war between the world's two largest economies. The United States has a history of imposing bans and restrictions on Chinese technology under the guise of national security concerns. This strategy aims to slow down China's technological advancement and maintain America's global dominance. One prominent example is TikTok, which faced significant scrutiny and a potential ban or forced sale as soon as it became the world's biggest social media platform.
Have you ever been a member of the Chinese Communist Party?
Senator, I'm Singaporean. No.
Similarly, the US banned China from cooperating in space, prompting China to build its own space station. In the realm of telecommunications, Huawei has been a prime target. The US placed Huawei on the Entity List, effectively banning American companies from supplying them essential components. Now, this move was intended to cripple Huawei's growth and maintain a technological gap. However, the reality has been quite different. Despite these restrictions, in mid-2023, Huawei unveiled the Mate 60, a smartphone powered by a self-designed chip manufactured by SMIC, China's leading chip maker. This chip, using 7nm technology, was a significant advancement that many believed China could not achieve under the current US restrictions. So of course, when the smartphone was released and torn down to reveal the components, the development threw into doubt the effectiveness of US sanctions. It also highlighted China's ability to innovate and adapt. But how did China get to this stage? Well, as they did when banned from cooperating on the International Space Station, China's response to US sanctions was to make a massive investment in its semiconductor industry, which now equates to a little over $100 billion annually. This investment aims to achieve self-sufficiency and eventually surpass American and other countries' technological capabilities in the microchip space, thereby rendering sanctions worthless. It is worth mentioning that China is not quite yet at the bleeding edge of the technology. Yet, if history is anything to go by, taking into account their progress in space, electric vehicles, urban planning, social media, manufacturing and distribution, it soon just might be. What's more, the rapid development in China's overall tech sector suggests that American sanctions may have backfired by providing China with the incentive to innovate and become a formidable competitor. So it seems the conflict with Huawei is part of a broader pattern. Whenever Chinese tech companies achieve significant success, the US seems to respond with restrictions and bans. TikTok's meteoric rise led to intense scrutiny and potential bans. Similarly, as Temu and Shein begin to dominate US retail, calls for restrictions have grown louder. These actions are often framed as protecting national security. Whether this is true or not remains to be determined. But they also serve to hinder China's economic growth and technological advancement by forcing them to go their own way. However, History has shown that these measures and sanctions alike rarely, if ever, achieve their intended effect. Instead, they often accelerate China's efforts to develop independent capabilities. If sanctions have ever had the desired effect, be sure to correct me in the comments below. China's ability to develop advanced chips using older DUV technology, despite being denied access to the latest EUV machines, is a testament to its ingenuity and determination. As the use of artificial intelligence becomes more mainstream and more prominent, the global supply chain for microchips is becoming ever more interconnected. Restricting Chinese tech companies not only affects China, but it will of course also have ripple effects throughout the global economy. With China's market of 1.4 billion consumers being one of the largest globally, second behind India of course, American suppliers like Intel and Nvidia could be set to lose significant market share if they're cut off from China. With this market share then obviously being inevitably eaten up by other companies, probably Chinese companies. China's technological advancements are challenging the US and their allies' ability to maintain their lead. So what do you think? Does China's continued investment and innovation make it plausible that we will soon live in a world where China not only catch up, but potentially dominates the global semiconductor industry in the years to come? In conclusion, the story of Huawei and the broader chip war is about more than just a smartphone. It's a tale of global economic shifts, technological innovation, and geopolitical tensions. As China continues to develop its tech capabilities, the world is watching to see if it will indeed dominate the global chip industry, potentially reshaping the balance of technological power. What would be the best outcome would be for China and the US to work together towards developing such important technology for the benefit of the whole world. Thanks for watching this video. For more travel, business, infrastructure, and geopolitics stories from inside China, please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.